Module 5, Revision. So we are in the end of Module 5 and we are going to do a revision of grammar of Module 5. As you can see, we have here the past simple of verb be, the past simple of verb have, the past simple of can, and the tense past simple, past continuous, and some exercises with past simple versus past continuous. Let's start with was and were. As you know already, this is the past simple of verb be. Here are the forms: affirmative, negative, and interrogative. Let's read. I was, you were, he, she, it was, we, you, they were. Negative. I was not, or the short form wasn't, you were not, or you weren't, he, she, it was not, or wasn't, and the plural form we, you, they were not, or weren't. And the interrogative form, here, as you can see, we have to put the verb in the first place, which means before the subject. Was I, were you, was he, she, it, were we, were you, were they. Some examples with was and were. Let's read. Who was with you yesterday? Native Americans were peaceful people. Were you at school yesterday? The Kwakiutl were fishermen. There weren't any ferry boats or an airport in those days. Some time expressions used with the past simple. Yesterday. It was very cold yesterday. In 1995, or in the 15th century, London was a very different city in the 18th century. Last week, last Sunday, last month, last year. He was with his friends last week. 2 days, 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks ago. Here we add the word ago. Example, where were you 2 months ago? Let's continue with verb had, which means the past simple of have. And the forms: affirmative, negative, interrogative. Let's read. I had, you had, he, she, it had. And plural, we, you, they had. Negative. I had not, or the short form, I hadn't. You had not, or you hadn't. He, she, it had not, or hadn't. We, you, they had not, or hadn't. And interrogative form, as you can see, it's same like before. We have to put the verb in front of the subject. Had I, had you, had she, had we. And as you can see, the verb had does not change. It is same for each person. Some examples. Let's read. I had a dog when I was little. Did you have a bike? Did you have a nice flight? They had large wooden houses. They had canoes for fishing. As you can see here, we have two questions where we use the auxiliary verb did, which is the past simple of do. So we put did, and then the main verb comes in infinitive. So you don't have to put a suffix here at all. Okay, the verb could. Affirmative. I, you could. We, they could. Example. I could run really fast when I was young. Negative. I couldn't, or plural, they couldn't. Example. Julian couldn't sail a boat when he was 8. Interrogative form. As you can see, we put the verb again before the subject. Example. Could I, could you, could they? Example. Could you drive when you were 18? And the short answers. Yes, he could, or no, I couldn't. Example. Could he swim well? Yes, he could. No, he couldn't. Past simple. First, we go with regular verbs. And let's see some of regular verbs. How do they form the past simple? Affirmative. Here are different verbs in each subject or person. Example, wait. First person, I waited. As you can see here, we added the suffix ed. Second one, you watched ed. He, she, it enjoyed ed. We, you, they moved. Here is another rule because this verb ends in a vowel e, and then we don't have to put ed, but only d. Negative. Okay, now we have again the auxiliary verb did and the negation not. I did not or didn't attend. You did not or didn't travel. He, she, it did not or didn't walk. We, you, they did not or didn't stay. Interrogative form. Now in the first place comes the auxiliary did and then the subject. And in the end comes the main verb. Example. Did you stay? Or did she stay? Now, past simple, but for irregular verbs. Why are irregular verbs called irregular verbs? Because they form the past simple in an irregular way. They change the word. Let's see. Affirmative. I went, which is in the present I go. You did, which is in the present you do. He, she, it read, which is in the present tense he reads, for example, or she reads. And plural, we, you, they ate, which in the present simple is eat. Negative form. I did not or didn't go. So here you can see the verb in the present simple or in infinitive, and here is the past simple. You did not or didn't do. Here is also the infinitive or present simple of did. He, she, it did not or didn't read. It is written in the same way, but it is pronounced read in the past simple and read in infinitive or present simple. And plural, we, you, they did not or didn't eat, which is the present simple or infinitive of the verb ate. And interrogative form, where we put the auxiliary first, did, the subject, and then the main verb. Here you have 3 different verbs. Example, did I go? Or did she eat? Or did we read? Etc. The usage. We use the past simple to tell about our past habits. Example, he wore glasses when he was young. And we use past simple for actions which happened at a specific time in the past. The time can be mentioned or implied. Example, here the time is mentioned. She moved to England in 1984. And here the time is implied. Mozart composed a number of symphonies and concerts. Past continuous. The structure. As you can see, here we have the was and were, the past simple of the verb be, plus the main verb with the suffix ing. And the forms. Affirmative. I was walking. You were going. He, she, it was reading. We, you, they were running. Here I have to mention a rule about the structure of verbs which are one syllable and they end in a consonant, like here. When they take the ing, they double the consonant, as you can see. Negative form. I was not or wasn't watching. You were not or weren't blowing. He, she, it was not or wasn't doing. We, you, they were not or weren't washing. And the interrogative. Okay, here again we have the auxiliary in front of the subject and then the main verb with ing. Was I reading? Were you listening? Was he running? And plural, were you sleeping? Usage. Let's see. It is used for an action which was in progress at a stated time in the past. Example, he was running at 6 o'clock yesterday evening. And this is the stated time in the past. A past action which was in progress when another action interrupted it. Example, I was sleeping when Alison called. So this action, which is in the past simple, interrupted the action here, which is in the past continuous. Okay, we use past continuous to tell two or more actions which were happening at the same time in the past. Like here, for example, Mom was cooking while I was doing my homework. Okay, two actions, was cooking and was doing. And in the end, past continuous is used to give background to a story. So when you tell a story, you can use past continuous, like for example, when you describe the weather or the situation, you can say it was raining, the wind was blowing, and the birds were singing, etc. Now some examples of past simple versus past continuous. Let's read. What was Ron doing when you called him? So here, as you can see, this action is interrupted by this action. So, past continuous interrupted by past simple. Now, did you meet your friends last Saturday? As you can see, this sentence is in the past simple only. Now, I was playing football when I slipped and fell down. Here we have again, but this time two actions in the past simple, which interrupted this action in the past continuous. And again, we have the same. I was calling you yesterday afternoon, but there was no answer. And in the end, only past continuous. Steve was studying for his test yesterday at 5 o'clock. As we mentioned before, the time is stated. Yesterday, 5 o'clock. What was Steve doing? He was studying. Okay. Thank you.